Hello and welcome to Wheels Boy. A very special Wheels Boy at that, one in which we celebrate our achievement of what is surely one of the greatest accomplishments one can ever hope for in life. Reaching 100,000 subscribers on YouTube.
Welcome to Wheels Boy, where we cover the newest, coolest, and wildest vehicles from the Chinese car market. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell.
It's been about 3 years since we started this channel and we've come a long way. My editor wanted to insert a clip from our very first video at this point, but we agreed that would be way too embarrassing. Hello everybody, I am Ethan, your friendly China-based test driver. Myself and my fanny pack have undergone our 14 days of self-quarantine, and we're very excited to be outside and showing you another exciting Chinese market car. Oh my God. Please believe me when I say that that was even cringier for me than it was for you. Thankfully, I've improved quite a bit. All right, I've only improved a little bit, but the point is I've improved enough to at least convince over 100,000 of you to subscribe to the channel, and for that, I am eternally grateful. But one important question remained. How does one celebrate such an accomplishment? Me, I started by taking a nap because making that many videos is exhausting. But once I woke up, the answer became crystal clear. We need to buy a Chinese car. That's right. We've been telling you for years that China now makes some pretty darn good cars, and it was finally time for us to put our money where our mouth is. We had a budget of about $25,000 US, and we wanted something that was big enough to carry our team and their equipment. We also wanted it to be electric, mostly because we wanted a Shanghai green plate that would allow us to drive unrestricted into the city center, but also because most of the cars we film on this channel are electric, and it's what most of you guys are interested in seeing more of. We also wanted to buy a car that you, our beloved audience, might also have a chance to purchase at some point. That way we could provide some real-world consumer advice about what it's like to own a Chinese car for the long term. After hours of debate and deliberation, we finally came to a decision and purchased a Chinese vehicle, one that I will reveal to you momentarily. However, I first must address a very serious issue that's been looming over this channel for almost a year now. Whatever happened to my fanny pack? For those of you who don't know, the fanny pack, or bum bag as some of you insist on calling it, was a reoccurring character early on in the channel's history. But starting about a year ago, I stopped wearing it. Why was that? Well, around that same time, we started working with a German TV channel called Welt der Wunder to provide content for their weekly car show.
127.000 Fahrzeuge. So viele ES6 hat NIO seit der Markteinführung vor etwa 4 Jahren verkauft. Somit ist es das verkaufsstärkste Modell von NIO. Als NIO uns nun fragte, ob wir die neue Generation mal Probe fahren wollen, haben wir natürlich ja gesagt.
Here I was, riding high on the news that I was finally going to achieve my childhood dream of being on television in Austria, Germany, and German-speaking parts of Switzerland when I learned that they had but one condition for this particular partnership. I could not wear the fanny pack. Apparently, my new German colleagues felt that wearing a fanny pack was unbecoming of a professional car reviewer. So I acquiesced to their demands, and instead, I started wearing Hawaiian shirts in every single review. I know the true fanny fans, the fanny fanatics as I refer to them, were deeply disappointed by this change. But I do have a bit of good news. This video ain't going on German TV, baby. Boom. Now let's go check out that new car. What? You didn't think I was gonna wear a Hawaiian shirt and a fanny pack. I have standards. Okay. Time for the big reveal. Now, originally I had a huge plan involving fireworks and a drone show. You know, one of those ones where they swarm around making different shapes in the sky? Well, then my editor pointed out that that would be way too expensive. Instead, he suggested, why don't I just drive it up from behind you while you're talking? Yeah, there it is. We bought a BYD Yuan Plus, aka Atto 3. We chose the BYD Yuan Plus because it fulfilled all of the criteria that I mentioned before, starting with price. This thing costs a little under $21,000 US in this spec. And yes, we paid every last penny of that. We did not get this thing for free from BYD, and we didn't get any kind of discount either. We also had to wait several months to take delivery, just like every other sucker.
It was also the right size, which is big enough to fit our shooting team, but small enough to be maneuverable in the city, allowing us to take advantage of that green license plate that lets us drive in downtown Shanghai. Finally, it's also for sale in many markets around the world, like Australia, Europe, and Southeast Asia. That means our experience might be helpful to those of you considering the purchase of a BYD.
Our Yuan Plus can best be described as a mid-spec car, and we chose that spec for some very important and very specific reasons, including the fact that it has the larger of the two available battery packs, 60 kilowatt hours, meaning it has an NEDC range of 480 kilometers. That number means that as our official company car, we can drive it to nearby cities for test drive events and not have to recharge on the way back. One other thing we were determined to have in our company car was color. I don't know about where you live, but here in China, the roads are absolutely full of cars that are white, black, and gray. I wanted to inject a little bit of color into people's lives, and thankfully, my teammates agreed. That's why we chose this lovely shade of green.
We could have stretched our budget a bit and purchased a top-spec car, like the one we drove for our review back in 2022, but decided not to. First off, we don't really care about most of the things you get for that extra money, like a larger center screen and 18-inch wheels. We also didn't care about the upgraded driver assistance system, because honestly, it's not that great, but there was another extremely specific reason we chose to stick with this spec.
The top spec of the BYD Yuan Plus has an electrically operated rear door. Now, most people would love to have that feature, but we are not most people. We need to do beautiful car-to-car footage, on-road footage, the kind you love to see in our videos. In order to do that, we need to have a man who sits in the back of the car and films the other car that we're filming. If this was electrically operated, this thing would just close on its own. That's why we stuck with the mid-spec, which is manual. But if I'm being honest, none of these features are the ones that really sold us on the Yuan Plus. What really sold us was the in-car karaoke, and you better believe we make very good use of it. Is it too late now to say sorry? So there you have it. We are now the proud owners of a Chinese car. Be sure to stay tuned for more videos about the Yuan Plus, and be sure to let us know what you want to see. Do you want a range test? A charging speed test? More in-car karaoke? We are here to provide. Just let us know in the comments below. And finally, thank you for all of your support over the last 3 years. We wouldn't be here without you, and we genuinely look forward to introducing you to more and more Chinese cars in the years to come.